Okay, give me a second. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of PRIFE 101. We've been doing this for a few weeks now, and I really pride on having PRIFE 101 being the source of information for business builders everywhere in the world to access high quality information that they need to not only develop their business, build their team, but also to expand their strengths and go from strength to strength. And it is with that spirit that today we have PRIFE North America's Chief Training Officer, Tony Lucero. Welcome, Tony, to PRIFE 101. It's so
Oh,
nice to have
welcome.
you
What
here.
an honor. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really happy to have you here. And the way the format usually goes, I normally make a small introduction and then I hand it over to you, and then you'll have the full hour. But in my introduction, I would like to say a few things. Thanks to PRIFE 101 and also thanks to working in marketing at PRIFE, I've had the honor of meeting so many different people from so many different walks of life everywhere in the world. And there's no one that I've connected to more than I say I've connected to Tony because I like the way he looks at things. I love his energy. I love his spirit. We see the world in very similar ways. We are both deep believers of energy and frequency and the effects that that has on the human body, on the mind, and on the way you think, on how we can change our lives and change our entire timeline just through the power of thought alone. So I am so happy and blessed to welcome Tony to this conversation that is recorded. We'll have a lot of people listening into the recording as well. Also, hello to everyone here. If you guys can just drop in the chat and let us know where you're from, that would be really great. I'm sure Tony would really appreciate knowing where his audience is from. I think this could be Tony's possibly one of the very few times that he has had a chance to connect with PRIFE's global community. And that's something that I'm really trying to change because PRIFE has such a huge global presence everywhere in the world. There's so many countries where we have people like sharing the frequency, sharing the energy, selling the same device. We have Yilan from Malaysia, Kaikun Lam, KK Lam from Malaysia as well. Kevin is here from New Zealand. There's a few other familiar faces I see, familiar names. We have Mr. Murugesan from Miri. So anyway, without wasting any more time on my preamble, let's get to the Kevin from Hastings, New Zealand. Hi, Kevin. Nice to see you back here again every week. So anyway, without wasting any more time on my preamble, let's get to the hero of the next hour. I hand this floor over to Tony Lucero. Let's give him a warm welcome, everybody. Tony Lucero, Chief Training Officer of PRIFE North America.
Thank you so much, Mui. Hello. Oh, thank you guys so much. It's such a treat to be here. And wow, what an opportunity. And I love what you're doing in this frequency of connection, right? And we're gonna talk about frequency and how everything is a frequency. We hear it, or when we talk about this device, when we talk about life, we're talking about frequency, vibration, energy. We're talking about these things that we keep hearing all the time. And today I want to kind of really bring that home for you and really help you really understand like how powerful that we really are, like how powerful each of us are, and how we can manipulate, right? And not a bad way. Manipulate doesn't be a bad word, but manipulate the frequency that we're in. So I'm really excited to spend this hour with you guys, and we're just gonna sit back and we're gonna feel and we're gonna tune in, right? And we're gonna vibrate and feel this energy of this frequency that we're all gonna hear about tonight and feel tonight, because tonight's the frequency of learning, the frequency of understanding. And for a lot of you, it's going to be the frequency of like validation. You're going to go, well, yeah, well, that's why I'm the way I am. And that's why things happen. And that's why. So we're going to help you kind of navigate through all of that. So I'm going to share my screen here. I think I've been given the power to do that. So let me just do this real quick. And let's see if you guys can see it. Can you guys see that image right there? Perfect. Okay, cool. All right. So let's talk about tuning into your superhero frequency, like unleashing your superpowers. And you guys all have superpowers. And when you really understand how powerful that you really, really are, and how you can control everything that's happening to you simply by tuning in and tuning out, you guys, you'll never have a bad day at the office. Like you'll never have a time where you're like, God, that was a terrible 6 weeks of my life. Or that was a terrible 2023 was a terrible year. Like, no, you are just tuned into a frequency, right? That where you are just kind of figuring out, hey, this is not the best version of me. And so the idea is understanding frequency, understanding that you are a frequency, understanding that you are energy, that you are vibration, and how you can manipulate that is simply as tuning into a different radio station. And we'll talk about that. So let's dive into it. So here's my short little story on who, kind of who I am. You guys, I've been around the block many, many times. Uh, and I've done it all. When people talk about me, a lot of people, when they introduce me, they go, here's my friend Tony. He is an enigma. Like I don't even know what he is. And I kind of like that. I'm not one dimensional. It's very difficult to be one dimensional when you're in a multi-dimensional environment, as we all are, right? You hear 3-dimensional and 5-dimensional and beyond. Well, I've done everything from music to sports. I was in the United States there. I was in the military here in the USA. I've been a sales professional, gym manager. I've sold everything, you guys. I've sold even door-to-door vacuum cleaners. I've done it all. I was a comedy stage hypnotist where I traveled around the world, kind of understanding the power of the mind and doing a comedy show and helping people laugh for 90 minutes. I've been a touring musician, and I do a lot of sound work. I do a lot of things in the space of frequency, and I help people discover and unveil and reveal their truth, like the truth of it all. Like, why are you here? What is my purpose? And I've spent the last probably 15 years in that space as a consultant, as a life coach, as a teacher, which is what I'm really excited about. I love helping people understand what you guys are about to learn tonight. And I've been married for 22 years to my amazing wife, who is a frequency goddess. And I spend my life traveling. I'm actually talking to you this morning. It's bright early in the morning out here in the United States. I'm talking to you from my RV, right? I travel around the world sharing the messages like you guys are going to hear. So let's talk about frequency and truly understanding it. And one of the things I've kind of been gifted on my journey, my self-development journey, is taking the difficult, right? Taking all these different things and simplifying them. And in that simplification, then people can relate to it. If it's over your head, or you've got to keep trying to figure it out, a lot of people have a hard time adapting. So I try to do everything kind of very simple. And so when I understand frequency, you guys, again, everything is frequency, everything is vibration, everything is energy, right? We're all energy beings. Our thoughts, our memories, our bodies, the earth, the air that we breathe, everything is a frequency or holds a vibration. Or, the dreams that we have, the choices that we make, the relationships, the things we have in our life, everything around us, if we look at it as energy or a frequency, then as we have things that are awkward that happen to us in our lives, if we see it as a frequency, it doesn't seem so heavy. What's heavy is if we walk around this planet going, oh, I've got trauma. Oh, you don't know my past. Oh, well, when I was young, this happened to me. That carries a heavy frequency and vibration if we look at it as that. But if we look at it as just as a frequency, hey, I was tuned into a really awkward frequency when I was a kid, or when this happened to me, I was in a really interesting frequency, then that feeling or that experience doesn't carry so much weight. Does that make sense? It doesn't carry so much trauma and heaviness. It is what it is. And so tuning in and out of frequencies is our choice, and we get to decide. And here's what's so beautiful. We get to decide every moment of the day what frequency that we want to operate at, what vibration. You always hear about these people that are vibing high. God, you're so high vibration. Well, why is that? That is a choice. And that person has tuned into that. And just like a radio station, you can tune into a frequency on the radio the same way you can tune into a frequency on your body. Here's what's crazy. I don't know if you guys have this overseas, like in New Zealand and other places, Malaysia, but here in the United States, we have this thing called Sirius XM radio. And here's the best analogy I can give you. You know, how many times you've been listening to a radio station and you're listening to a song and man, the song is so good. You're in it. You're like, oh God, this feels good. This is amazing. Oh, I love this song. Man, they're playing back to back my favorite songs. And then a commercial happens. And then you hear a commercial. And then there's another one. And you're like, immediately go, oh my gosh, they're playing all these commercials. And we immediately subconsciously change the station to find another radio station. Well, many years ago, they introduced this thing called Sirius XM radio, which is a satellite radio, which means if I want to listen to 80s music, right? I'm from the 80s, I'm 57 years old. The music I grew up to is in the 80s. If I want to listen to 80s music, I can go to my Sirius XM radio and I can tune to nothing but 80s music. And I never hear a commercial. Now I go, oh my God, this feels good. Now I'm in it. You guys, and this is what's so interesting is we have the ability to tune into the things that we want to in our life, free from commercials, free from the things we go, oh my gosh, why are they doing this, right? So our conversations that we have, our thoughts, our feelings, the belief that we have about ourselves, the belief that we have about life and everything around us, our past even is literally a frequency and a vibration. The story, and we're going to talk about this because this is significant. The story that you tell yourself is a vibration and a frequency. And for some of us, it is a heavy, it doesn't feel good story. Oh gosh, my past is this, and my dad has this, and now I have this, and my friends are like the story you're telling yourself carries vibration. The clients that I have in my life, or maybe the clients or customers that we're exposed to, these are all, if you look at them, they're just frequencies. Yeah, they're people, but they're just frequencies. And so when that frequency does something that upsets you, you can easily just tune in and out of it. All of our relationships, the business that we all are in together, guys, all of these, if you just see them and understand that they're just a frequency or a vibration or an energy, right? And we can shift in and out of that. We can amplify that energy. We can decrease that vibration, all right? And when we know that we can do that, man, we are powerful, powerful beings. And it took me a while to figure this out because, everything always, when we see something, it's usually a physical thing that we're feeling. I can't believe what that person said to me, and this person was ugly to me. It's usually a heavy, heavy feeling that we attach to. But everything to me now, I see as just a frequency, right? And I get to decide how heavy, how much, how light that frequency is. You get to decide what it is that you want when you understand this. And you hold the sacred, you hold whatever it is you want and honor it. For example, I'll tell you a story a little bit later. When I was a kid, there's something that I hold very, very sacred, and we'll talk about it. It's non-negotiable. The person that you are, the frequency that you're in, it's non-negotiable. Don't allow people to disrupt it. Don't allow something, right? Another energy or another vibration to allow to disrupt it if you don't want to. Okay. Again, it's going to be a choice. Remove anything from your life that does not feel good. I want you guys to write this down because we're going to address this again. Remove anything in your life that doesn't bring joy, that doesn't bring love, that doesn't bring these happy frequencies and vibrations to you. And this is a big, big lesson that I learned at a very, very young age because I grew up in a childhood. I grew up in a family situation where my stepfather, my mom was married 4 times. And the father that raised me from the time I was 5 to 11, which are the most influential years in a child's life, those 7 years, I was told every day that I was worthless. I was told every day that I would never amount to anything. I was told every day that I was stupid. I was told every day that I was a mistake. I was never told that I was loved in those times, right? So I had to figure out how to manipulate those feelings and those energies and those frequencies over a period of time. And it took me a minute, but I figured out at a very young age. And by figuring out at a young age, you guys, I've been able to cope and deal with things so much more easy. All right. Right. And when you discover the truth about who you are in this juicy, let's just call it a juicy frequency. All right. A yummy or a delicious frequency. When you discover that truth, man, it's just beautiful. And your only goal is to spend the rest of your life in that space, in that truth. Okay. So your frequency is your reality. Your frequency is your reality. The health, the wealth, the happiness, everything that you have in your life is your reality. Everything that you see is the frequency that you're in. So that is your reality. And it's crazy because there are people, and I'm going to say this, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. There are people in your life that are unhappy, and they have an unhappy marriage. They have an unhappy business. They have an unhappy, view of themselves. That is their reality. And there's what, 8 billion people in this planet? 8 billion people. And each of us are in our own frequency. We might be tuned into other people's frequencies, like for example, you're tuned into my frequency right now. But when you leave this information, you're going to go back to a reality that is yours, right? But there's 8 billion people, and we're all tuned into our own reality. Kind of interesting when you think about it. We're all living our own reality on how we perceive our environment. And so it's up to us now to figure out how to go out and do some things. So one of the things I am very aware of is my intention. And so I'm going to give you guys some of the guidelines that I navigate my day through. This moment through is all about intention. My intention this evening or this afternoon or this morning, whenever you're watching this, my intention is for you to feel a frequency that feels comfortable, that feels good, the frequency of learning, the frequency of validation, maybe. That's my intention, is to share that with you. And everything that I do is intentional. When I eat food, for example, you see some people when they eat food, they might pray or something like that. When I eat food, I have a ceremony that I do with every time I sit down and eat. And it's a ceremony of gratitude. And my intention is to be grateful for whoever was in the process to bring these nutrients to me. And so when I do that, what I'm actually doing is I'm amplifying with my intention the nutrients, the goodness of this food to help nourish my body. Right. So everything I do is intentional. When I work out, when I exercise, I just don't put on gym shorts and just go do. I do it with an intention, the intention to help my body, become comfortable with a movement, to help my body grow, to help my body do something. Be very intentional. So I ask you, and this is a question that you can ask yourself when you wake up in the morning, what is my intention today? Who do I want to be today? All right. And you'll be surprised what beautiful feeling will come over you. When I ask myself that, what is my intention today? What is my purpose today? What do I want to be today? I get this feeling of goodness, nothing bad. It's like, oh, Tony, you're going to be angry today. You're going to piss people off today. You're going to be a thorn in people's side today. No, that's not what happens. It's like my intention is to be loving, to be caring, to be nurturing, and to do things today in that space. Okay. If you get it, say, I get it. You got it. Okay, cool. Love it. You guys, it's so simple. It's so simple to do this. And this is how we amplify our superpowers, is by being very intentional. Here's another thing. And this is going to be a stinger for some of you. Okay. But the idea of expectation. I do, wait, before I say this, before I say the magic phrase, this took me a while to learn. And once I learned this probably 20 years ago because of the growth I was going through. But I do everything, here we go, get ready for it, without expectation. Zero expectation. Tony, that's crazy. But when you do something, you got to have this ROI and this return. And when you share your business with people, you got to get boy, if I get this person, my business is going to change. You guys, listen, look what's happening to my energy right now, how I'm shifting into Psychosville. I'm becoming psycho. And if I have expectation with everything, well, if I go work out, then I better lose 5 pounds. Or if I, share this device, or I share my business opportunity with someone, boy, if I share it with Dave, my best friend, man, he should join. He better join. That's an expectation. What happens if David doesn't join? What happens? What happens to your energy? And what happens if the next 5 people that you talk to, because you're expecting them to, they don't join? And all of a sudden your energy shifts. You start tuning out of your superhero amazing frequency, your excited frequency, your belief frequency, and all of a sudden your belief and your excitement starts to shift because of expectation. When I share this, if I'm talking to you right now and nothing is resonating, I don't have an expectation. I'm like, everybody's on here. I'm going to speak to your heart and you're going to get this. Why would I do that? I'm going to show up with an intention, with zero expectation. And guess who's never disappointed? Me. Guess who's never frustrated? Me. Guess who's never freaked out and losing sleep over it every night because something's not happening the way that I expect it to? Me. Took me a long time to do this, you guys. And when I started releasing all of that energy of expectation, I flourished. I grew. My vibration, everything shifted. Okay. Zero expectation. Can you imagine being in a relationship and expecting your significant other, expecting your partner to be a certain way, and they're not? And this happens one day, one weekend, over a period of a month, a year goes by, and your wife or your girlfriend, your husband is not responding the way you expect them to. Oh, God. Get ready to be let down, to have a long, unhappy life. Okay. So zero expectation. Show up, be the best version of you, the right intention, and amazing things happen. Here's another thing. In fact, I wrote a book. Where's it? Oh, let's see if I have it right here. I don't know if you'll see this guy on my screen, but I wrote this book, How to Give Birth to a Condor. There it is right there. Okay. This is my book that I wrote. And the first chapter of this book that came to me was the chapter on choice. You see, we superheroes, and all of you and all of us are superheroes, us magnificent beings of light. We all have been given the greatest superpower that we have, which is the superpower of choice. We are the only creatures on this planet. No animals, nature, nothing does this. They don't have the ability to choose. Everything is instinctual, right? Birds fly this way instinctually. Everything's happened. We have choice. I can choose right now to shift this conversation and be mean and be a completely different person. I can say, you know what? Guess what, Moogie? I don't want to do this anymore. And I can hang up right now. I have the choice to do that. And when you understand that everything that we do in our existence while we're here in this frequency, we can choose, you guys. Exercise your ability of choice. Look I do not want to go to the party. I just don't feel like it. You guys have a good time. Hey, I do want to spend my energy and my money on this concert because I deserve it. Hey, I don't need that thing in my life, right? I don't need to go out and do that. You guys, choice, 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 choice. Your number one superpower. Exercise it, use it. Know that everything that happens and has happened to you, whether you want to believe it or not, are because of the choices that you made. Not Tony, not Moogie, not your dad, not your sister, not that business. The choices you made set you up for the next experience. Okay. Now that you know that, you're going to look back and go, wow. Oh, so it wasn't my dad. Yes, we could have been born into a family that was dysfunctional. I get it, but I could have chose a different path. I could have chose to hang on to my stepfather's words of, I'll never amount to anything. I'm worthless. I never knew what love is. Don't even try. You're going to fail. You're stupid. You're a mistake. You're not even my kid. I could have held on to that as my choice. And I guarantee I would not have been having this conversation at 1 o'clock in the morning for you, like it is for me. Okay, you understand that? So choice. We put a smile on our face, we make a choice, and that choice sets you up for the next choice. Okay. Now, here's where we're going to start. You're going to start to see some things and feel some things about where you're at in your life right now. And people always ask me, hey, Tony, why is it that some people succeed and some people struggle and some people don't get it? Some people get it. Why are some people so far up the food chain of success and people like me aren't, or whatever? People have asked me this. And here's the word I want you guys to understand. It's this phrase right here: emotional stability. Emotional stability. You see, there are people that go through life, and you're going to probably smile when I tell you this, that are on this roller coaster. And this roller coaster, you guys, watch out. So here's what it looks like. All right. You make a decision to do a business. Okay. You get in, you're excited, right? So that you hear that, you can almost hear the car going up the track. It's anticipation, like, oh yes, I'm going to do this. And you get all the way to the top and you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is amazing. And all of a sudden you get dropped and you start going down that first big dip, which we know that first one, we know it's like, oh, my stomach, right? And we feel this feeling of life and energy passing through us. And all of a sudden we go up a hill and then we go down a hill. And also we start to get a little queasy and maybe the track is a little bumpy, right? And that excitement that we had because of the bumps in the road, because of the nose, let's say, because of something that life threw at us, a curveball, maybe somebody in our family passed or, somebody got sick or whatever. And all of a sudden we start to go on this ride where we're having these highs and these lows. We're feeling good. Life is great. And all of a sudden we feel that life dropped out of us. And then we spend a period down in the valley and then we go back up again. It's, we're feeling great and we go back down. And this doesn't happen every day, but over a period of time, we're in these big peaks and valleys. And you guys, the amount of energy that it takes for most people is they just go, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to get off this emotional roller coaster. And they just kind of settle in. And they just kind of figure out their new ride that they want to be on. And they go from being on this amazing roller coaster that was fun and exciting to like the teacups, where they're just spinning around, and they're getting sick and nauseous. You see, the people that can handle the peaks and the valleys, the highs and the lows, the ebbs and the flows, these are the people that can have the most success. They understand as part of the process. The key for you, though, and what you need to learn is not to have the highs so high and have the lows so low. The key for you is to figure out how to, what I kind of call being flatlined, not in a bad way like I'm dead, but flatlined in the sense that when something happens, oh my gosh, Tony, congratulations, you just won the lottery. Yay. A little bump. Oh, you know what, Tony, did you hear that? 25 people on your team quit last week. Okay. And so I'm going through these little tiny bumps. Hey, did you hear what happened to, Bill? He's got cancer. Okay. Oh, did you hear what happened to Mary? Mary just got married. Okay. And you guys, and we go through life and we're navigating through these things that normally would have derailed us for a period of time. And we figure out a way to be emotional stable, not unstable, and how just to kind of ride the waves, right? Tuning in, tuning out, tuning into things, that type of thing, right? I worked with John C. Maxwell. For those that don't know John C. Maxwell is probably the foremost leader with the subject of leadership. And he said, Tony, here's what you need to do. And you guys, this is huge. When you have something that's beautiful and massive and big, celebrate it for 24 hours. 24 hours, embrace it. Yes, this feels good. I love this. But then get back on the ride. Get back in the game. Something terrible happens. Oh my gosh, my best friend just found out my childhood friend is no longer here on this planet. He's passed. Honor it for 24 hours and get back in the game. Okay. 24 hours is kind of like your filter to deal with stuff. You guys, we are amazing human beings. We can handle things, right? So 24 hours, emotional stability. All right. If you're feeling if you're picking up what I'm putting down, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Okay. All right. I love it. All right. We're learning. I know. Awesome. Okay. So our choice is our superpower. It is our frequency that we get to manipulate. And again, manipulate for me is not a bad word. It's a good word. It is our gift. It is the gift that we have that is the truest sense of who we are. It is our light. It's our greatest lesson. The choices that we make are our greatest lessons and teachers. And it's our responsibility to exercise the choice. Okay. So when something happens or we're faced to do something, it's our responsibility to honor that, face it, and use that ability to choice. Okay. So, will you do this every day? Will you honor these things I've talked about, your intention and going through things without expectation? And will you honor this thing called choice every day? Like you get to decide that. You get to decide that. Okay. I don't, this is not a dress rehearsal that we're in right now. You guys, we have one shot at this thing called life. Just one, right? It's not like, hey, we don't get do-overs. Okay. Everything that's happening to us is happening right now at this moment. So what are you doing right now in this moment? Like, how immersed are you into this now, right? I don't even remember my past. It's so funny. My wife always says, boy, you don't remember what you had for breakfast yesterday or today or that time we did this. You guys, I am so in the present. My choice is to say so in the present that this is all that matters to me. This conversation is the only thing that matters to me at this moment. It's not my future. It's not my 5-year plan. It's not what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Like this moment is the yummiest and juiciest moment of my life right now. And so I do honor it. Okay. I'm going to ask you, what is it that you want in your life? So many people come to me and it's like, well, I don't want bills and I don't want people quitting my business and I don't want my wife to yell at me all the time and I don't want this and I don't. And it's crazy. There's so much heaviness and frequency in that people don't even know what they want. I know what I want with regards to my wellness. I know what types of people I want to hang out. I know what I want to be doing with my time. I know that I want happiness. I know I want to soar like a condor, like my book, How to Give Birth to a Condor. I want to be a condor. I want to be flying in the valleys and helping people see the light. This little teeter-totter that you see here, guys, I share this picture with you because I want you to understand what I learned at a very young age and what triggered everything to set me up for a degree of success. People would see my life and go, gosh, Tony, you have a degree of success or you are successful, okay? Whatever that means to them, because it takes a different frequency and a different vibration than what it means for me. So for example, these teeter-totters that you see here, these red and green teeter-totters, when I was 11 years old, my mom finally removed our family, we had 4 of us, from my stepfather after a really difficult time. We moved from California to Houston, Texas, which is a long, long move. And I remember at being 11 years old, and this is really interesting, 11 years old, I remember spending my very first summer away from this person, away from my stepfather. And I went to this park behind my house. It's 105 degrees, 100% humidity. And I'm standing on this teeter-totter like what you see here. And I'm standing, kind of balanced myself. And I look up at the heavens. And here's what I said. For the rest of my life, I'm going to choose happiness. You see, because of the first 11 years of my life, I felt a frequency that was very unhappy. And I really didn't know what happiness was. I'm sure I had happy moments when I was a kid, but I chose that for the rest of my life, I'm going to choose this frequency of happiness. And everything that I do, every job, every relationship, everything that I decide has to bring me a sense of what? Happiness. And so when I chose a career, when I chose a friend, when I chose a relationship, when I chose a place to live, I always would say, does this bring me happiness? That was my filter for everything. So I encourage you to find a frequency that resonates at the highest and deepest level with you. Mine was happy. I just wanted to be happy. And today, I just want to be happy. And that's my filter. So if somebody says, hey, Tony, do you want it? And if it doesn't bring me happiness, whatever that is, I go, you know what? Hey, I appreciate you asking me. I'm not interested. Have a great time and let me know how it goes. I have no problem saying no if it just doesn't bring a big old smile like you see on this image to my face and doesn't fill my heart up. Okay. I have no problem saying no. So what is going to be your word? I challenge you. And by the way, it's never going to be the first word you think about. You have to get from your head down into your heart when you feel this word. I always put my hand on my heart and I go, man, I just feel so much happiness right now. Right. So what is going to be the word that's going to be your navigator, right? Your compass for you to navigate you through life's little roller coaster ride. I mean, I wonder what it'd be for you. Don't choose it now, okay? Because you've got to spend some time with this. I had to go through 11 years of unhappiness to figure out I wanted the opposite of that in my life. I don't even know what happiness is, but I just want to feel different inside than what I did, okay? All right, moving right along. What is it that you want? I'm going to encourage you as we get ready for 2024, brand new year. A lot of you are probably doing mindset or goal setting and things like that. But I'm going to encourage you to ask yourself, what do I want with regards to my health? What do I want? Okay, right? And start putting some energy, some frequency, some vibration into that. Start asking yourself this question and see what surfaces, right? Is this the year that the things that you truly want with your health, and I'm talking all areas of your health, the foods that you're eating, the exercises that you're doing, the hobbies, everything that keeps you as a healthy being. What is it that you want? Start writing it down. Start brainstorming. I want this. I want a body that's flowing. You don't want to say this, well, I don't want to be tired anymore. I don't want to, procrastinate. No, I want a body that's moving. I want a body that's thriving, that's getting better every day. I'll tell you my mantra I say every night before I go to bed. Actually, I'm going to save that till the end. I'm going to give you my mantra that I just say every time. Okay. What do you want with your health? Ask yourself these questions. What do you want with your, this is not a typo. What do you want with your isness? Okay. It is, this is like your business, right? Because your business is part of you. So I just call it my isness, right? This is what it is. This is my business. What do you want with your business? Well, I don't want people quitting, and I don't want people that don't have money, and I don't want people that don't get it. No, a lot of people talk like that. What do you want? I want people that come that are ready to be well, like ready to have a device, ready to have tools and resources to help them amplify their life, all aspects of it, right? I want a business. I want an business that's thriving every single day. I want a business that's global. I want a business that resonates with people now more than ever. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Okay. Your lifestyle. What do you want with regards to your lifestyle? What are you implementing in your lifestyle? Okay. Are you reading books? Are the people that you're hanging out with? What are you doing to improve the lifestyle and to create abundance in your life? Because the more that your life improves, the more everything around you improves. So we're gonna have a deep discussion about, what that is too. All right. Now, a lot of you have probably studied people, but I'm gonna ask you guys this question. Who is the best salesperson you know? A lot of people, they think, oh gosh, this guy that I met that sold me my car, he's amazing. Or my real estate agent, oh gosh, this person, Dave, is amazing. Oh, this person I saw at this convention, oh, the best salesperson I ever know. Well, I'm going to tell you, nobody's got anything on you. This is a mirror. This is you. You are the best salesperson. But Tony, I don't love sales. No, you do. You do. If you have a friend in your life, you sold your friend something for them to become a friend in your life. If you have a partner in your life, you're married. I've married 22 years. You better believe I sold my wife something special. Otherwise, she would never have chose me, right? You, my little superhero, you are the best salesperson. And what's crazy is the story you've sold yourself. Oh my goodness. Oh, Tony, you don't know what I've been through. You don't know the childhood I had and all the dysfunction I had. Well, let me tell you my story real quick. I'll get it real quick. My stepfather used to beat the crap out of me for 7 years out of my life. My mom was married 4 times. I filed bankruptcy twice. Let's see what else. I've had 2 marriages. My first wife cheated on me, had an affair, so I know what that feels like. My brother, my youngest brother, 19 years old, put a gun to his head and took his life, so I know what that feels like. See what else? should I go? Want me to tell you more? You guys, I have a story, okay? But the story I tell myself is not a story of like, oh my gosh, let me just share it with you so you understand my pain and why I'm not succeeding in my life. No, the story is the story that has made me and has helped me understand and provided the lessons for me to be the person I am today, right now at this moment. And my story, every day I get to create a new chapter, right? That's even going to be more juicier than the chapter that's been, that I'm making, that I have right now. And I want you to understand something. The story you're selling yourself, you get to rewrite everything right now. Okay. You are who you are because of your story. And right now, you are the writer, you're the author, you're the editor. You get to change anything you want. You can erase all of it. I wrote the book that I just showed you. It took me 5 different times to write. I wrote this book 5 different times at 5 different times in my life, and it didn't have it until the last time I wrote it, and it came out. So there's more stuff in my story that had to be unveiled. Okay, that had to show up, because otherwise, you guys would probably, somebody would have bought my book and go, "Well, this sucks." Like, why did I buy this? They're just trying to send their money back. Okay. So I want you, here's a question. And this is something you can ask yourself, and this is something you can ask people that you're asking to join your business or join something that you're doing. What's the most important thing that you really want? So if I'm sharing, for example, this tool with people, I'm going to ask them, what's the most important thing that you really want? Why are you interested in purchasing this? Why are you interested in working with me? Have them tell you what they want. There might be a few things, but what is the most important thing? We call it the hot button. Okay. What is the most important thing to you? This single question, you guys, has made me millions of dollars, especially in a sales environment. Like, look, what's the most important thing to you right now? I know there's probably a couple things, but what is the most? And when they tell you the most important thing, that's where you spend your time. Real wonderful. Tell me more. Tell me more. Tell me more about that one thing. Tell me more. Tell me more. And as they start talking about, you guys, they're going to sell themselves into whatever it is that you're talking about. Okay. Whatever it is you're trying to promote. Listen, right? So when I ask the question, I want to listen. Communication is a two-way street. So when you ask the question, sit back and listen, because they're going to tell you exactly what they need, what they need to hear, and what you need to hear to help them make a decision. Okay. So this again, and we're doing this with the intention, the good intention of truly helping this person. We're doing this with no expectation. Okay. And we're allowing them to make a choice that they know is the best. We want to keep everything simple, keep it so simple. So many people make life so difficult. Always talk about that thing where you say, hey, you point the finger at somebody because they did something wrong. Well, you have 3 fingers pointed back at you. You probably made it more difficult. You probably handle that situation more awkward. So we want to keep things so simple, and we want to smile. We want to smile more. These things, the smile, you guys, will raise your vibration. When you smile, the power in that, the amount of dopamine, the amount of oxytocin, the amount of endorphins that are released into your body without you even aware of it, changes and shifts your frequency. That's why when somebody smiles a lot, you sit there and you go, why is he smiling? Next thing you know, you're smiling. It's contagious. Okay. If you're not smiling when you're maybe calling people, smiling when you're dialing, they're not feeling your frequency, not feeling your vibration. Some people go, gosh, I can just feel you over the phone. Like, I can feel your energy. Some people, when they say my name, they smile, right? Why do they smile? You know Tony? Oh yeah, I know Tony. Do you know Moogie? Yeah, I know Moogie. They smile automatically. Why is that? That's the frequency. That's the frequency that person has created. Or you smile when you think of, a vacation spot that you went to. When I put my hiking shoes on, I smile because my body goes into this frequency, right? And in that frequency, good things can happen. You want to improve the quality of your life is you want to get organized in your life, and not organized to where you become like you have OCD, but you guys know what organized is. You know what a messy office looks like, right? So become more organized in your behavior and your things that you're doing during the course of the day. Remove clutter, remove distractions. Remember, if something doesn't bring joy or peace, or in my case, happiness to me, you guys, I want to remove it, right? That's why I don't watch TV. That's why I don't listen to the news, because I watched TV as a kid. I listened to the news as a kid, and I'm like, God, this is depressing. Like, really? So I start removing distractions. Get clear on the things that you want to do, the things that you want, the things you want with your health, the things you want for your business. Get clear on this, you guys. And the more clear on you get, and then communicate with people, communicate your feelings, let people know what you're about. Communication, again, is listening, it's hearing, it's touching, it's feeling, it's all of these things. Become a master of communication. Don't just be the one that talks to hear your voice, to get your voice heard, right? Breathe. Learn to breathe more often, and have fun. Okay, so I'm going to go through these a little bit just to kind of give you a kind of idea what's going on. So there's a battle that goes on with our minds and our hearts, and it happens every nanosecond of the day. And each of these organs, your brain and your heart, have their own set of rules, right? So the brain is great to get information and things like that. Our attitudes are controlled by our brains. Our intention comes from our heart. All these things can be interwoven together. Our belief can come from our brain, but we can feel belief in our heart. So the harmony can exist. You just got to know what they're doing. And we have this thing called the yeah but disease. Don't get offended by this, but here's where my training really starts to hit you. We have this thing like, hey, Tony, I want to go for it, but hey, you know what? I know it's time. I should write that book, but hey, I know I should, make 5 calls a day to help grow my business, but we have this yeah but disease. We make these excuses, you guys, and I want you to get out of the yeah but disease. The yeah but disease has killed more people than any disease on the planet. It's killed more lives and weakened more people than any other disease. Is this yeah but disease. Oh yeah, but I'll get to it. Yeah, but I'll do that once I have the money. Yeah, but I'll do that when the weather gets nice. You guys, we can't do that. Okay, we have to understand that this disease, this virus, this yeah but disease, we can't. We just got to go. We got to do what feels right. Your brain and your role, your brain's role is to gather information, create impressions, expressions. We have 60,000 bits of information that we receive every day. It's interesting that 70% of them are the same bits of information as yesterday. It's crazy when you think about that. The amount of information that we're receiving in our life during the course of the day is 70% of it's exactly the same as yesterday. So if you're in a rut, if you're stuck, if you're not feeling like you guys, we have to shift those bits of information. We have to change our environment, and I'm going to help you do that. Your heart becomes your navigator. When I tuned out of my head and into my heart, everything shifted in my life, my frequency, my energy. I navigate, my intention comes from my heart. The choices I make are fueled from my heart. The experiences I create are heart driven. The actions that I take, everything comes from the heart. It is like your seventh sense. It is your emotional trigger to get you to take action. Is when you feel it. When I was running marathons, my heart is what kept me going. My head was going, this is stupid. This is dumb. Why are you running? Why this is, but my heart was going, Tony, man, you're the best. You got this. Keep going, buddy. Step after step, mile after mile, keep going. My heart was what kept me doing that. It's your truth. Herein lies the truth of who you are, is in your heart. So tune into that. It knows what's best for you. You ever walked into a room and you feel the energy of the room? You just got something is off. That's coming from deep within, right? Not your head. Your head goes, oh yeah, but let's just stay here. Let's just check it out. But your heart's going, no, 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 no. We need to leave here. That feeling, that seventh sense comes up. It's your navigator. It is your pilot. It becomes, your compass for you. So if you ever are in doubt of something, of your frequency, tune into your heart. Okay. Your heart will always provide for you exactly what you need. Here are some of the things I kind of do on a daily basis. My morning process to avoid the matrix, to get out of the things that are happening in the world, you guys. I smile. I wake, when I wake up in the morning, I kind of put a smile on my face and I go, who do I want to be today? Write this down. Who do I want to be today? Who do I want to be today? Who do I want to be today? Right? And be grateful for, pick 3 things. I'm grateful that my wife's next to me. I'm grateful I have heat in this house. I'm grateful for that breath that I just took. Find gratitude in this attitude in this frequency. Find gratitude. in everything that you do. Something doesn't go right, there's a lesson in there somewhere. Be grateful that you have the ability to even receive the lesson. And then move gently in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, some people, the alarm clock goes off, man, they're running, they got the coffee going. Guys, move gently throughout the morning. Ease into morning. Don't let the morning pull you into, you know, something crazy. There's different things you can do at nighttime. I always do another kind of exercise as well. I was telling you earlier, here's my mantra I say every single night. Tonight, when I go to sleep, I'll sleep like a baby, deep, sound, and peaceful. When I wake up tomorrow, I'll look and feel 5 years younger. I'll have so much energy, and I will be amazed by the things that I'm going to accomplish. Guys, I say this every single night, and it's crazy. I've been saying, you know, this every single night. And, you know, at 57 years old, again, I feel better at 57. I'm more clear at 57. I just am more awake at 57 than I've ever been. And so I'm telling you, this is kind of what I tell myself before I go to bed, and things I'm grateful for. I do some breaths where I, inhale for 4 seconds and I hold the breath for 4 seconds. I let it out for 4 seconds and I leave the breath out for 4 more seconds. I guess I do stuff like that just to kind of bring me to center, bring me into the moment, bring me into my heart space. And then we've all heard this term, I am. It's listed in, so many different things in Bibles and such. But the I am, the word you say after the word I am, the word that you say after the word I am is the most powerful word in existence. So if you say I am hungry, there's nothing else that matters to you except feeding yourself. I'm pissed, I'm angry, I'm upset. Well, as soon as you say that, that is the frequency that you're in. That's the reality. So be very aware of where you say I am and what you say after the words I am. I am loving, I am joy, I'm peaceful, I am thriving, I am manifesting, I am, excited, I am growing, I am learning. To manifest in this beautiful space with a smile on your face, what you want, you guys, beautiful things can happen. Amazing things can happen to you to tap into your superhero powers. Again, no expectation when we're asking for something, when we're tuned into this frequency of goodness and we're manifesting, guys, no expectation on the time. It will happen when it's divinely supposed to happen. Okay. And that time, the only time that exists is now. The future, your 5-year plan doesn't exist, you guys. Your past no longer exists. Your only goal is to figure out the frequency that you need to be in, the frequency that resonates at the highest and deepest level for you, the frequency that you're the most excited about, the frequency that keeps you just excited and engaged, right? Your only goal is to figure out what that is for you, free from all the other frequencies that are out there, the 5G, the fake news, the bad, this, the bad guys. And your goal is to get into the fast lane, into the traffic, remove yourself from the traffic and get into the fast lane. That's your only goal, right? Is to do that. And this last thing I'm going to leave with is something that is so profound. And it was a lesson that when I learned it as a kid, I'm like, God, this is terrible, right? So when I was a kid, my stepfather, he used to punish us. We would get home from school and we lived on a big, huge acreage. And he would come home and say, go pull weeds, go pull some weeds. And it's funny because every day as a kid, I remember, being punished, being yelled at, not doing something right. And I would go pull these weeds. And at the time as a kid, it was a bad frequency. It was an uncomfortable frequency. It was a frequency I despised so much. God, I could go pull weeds again. And we would do it without gloves. So I always had cuts on my fingers. And it's crazy as I now look back on my life and as I coach people and help people, this is probably the most profound, biggest lesson, which is to let go of things and pull the weeds that are in your garden, pull the weeds that are in your environment, pull the weeds that do not resonate with you anymore, that don't feel good, that are ugly in your life. The things, you guys all know what they are. It's the friends, it's the memories, it's the dirty office that you might have. Clean it, pull those weeds, remove anything that no longer serves you so that something can grow underneath that. Something can sprout up through the soil underneath that. Create space for something. As I look back on my life, I pulled a lot of weeds, but in that pulling of the weeds, I saw space created and I saw new birth from earth coming through that, something much more beautiful. And so I'm asking all of you in this frequency of goodness, right? This frequency of what you're experiencing, what you're feeling out this moment is, guys, tend to your garden. Tend to the garden that you have right now in front of you. And that garden is your environment. It's everything around you, right? It's all the people. It's, it's the Facebook post that you make, maybe, that, somebody hits you, throws you under the bus on Facebook. There's things you can do to tend your garden right now, this moment, to create space for something beautiful. And all the purpose is while you're here on this planet, as the superhero that you are, as the gift that you are, as the master conductor and orchestrator, the writer, the producer, the main actor, whatever you want to be, is to enjoy this life. Enjoy this ride. It is so beautiful, even with the highs and the lows, is to figure out how to manipulate the frequency, manipulate the energy, manipulate the vibrations around you so that you truly can enjoy your life. And that is my wish for all of you, is to figure out what it is for you that brings a smile to your face, what it is for you that brings joy to your heart, that brings love, that brings out the best in you, the very best in you. And once you figure out what that is, you spend the rest of your life figuring out how to stay in that frequency. That's it. How to stay there. When you slip, what tool, what resource, what book you're going to read, what convention you're going to go to get you back into that frequency, the frequency of your magnificence. So, Mugi, I could go on and on and on and on and on about this subject, man, but I'm just telling you, like, this is so special to be able to share this with you, because this is who I am. And anytime I get a chance to share a feeling and a frequency with people, I'm very honored. So I appreciate what you're doing for the company. I appreciate what you're doing for humanity. And I know that little smile on your face that we are good, brother. So thank you.
We
And I
are
thank
good.
everybody that
We are
showed up
good.
and watched this tonight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. As you were talking, I was looking around and seeing all the weeds in my life. And
Mm,
as you were talking, I had a very powerful recollection of when I first read Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. And that very powerful message of being able to stay in that mindset of love and hope in the most terrible conditions is something that I was brought back to, because that's true. Like, there's so much happening around us, and the fact that we can actually change our perspective by just changing that frequency, by taking a moment to be grateful and have gratitude. It's a very, very, very powerful sharing and so meaningful for all of us as we go into 2024. I want to open the floor to some people to share their thoughts. Kevin, I see you have your mic unmuted. Hi, everyone. Thanks for turning on your cameras. I really appreciate it. Hi, Rosemary. So I'm gonna open up the space. We have a few minutes left that I'm gonna
Uh,
invite you guys to share your thoughts. Go ahead.
yeah, I was going to let a few other people go in and have a go first. Tony, thank you for that 1 hour weekend on personal development, crammed into 1 hour. Wow. There are a few things there. I took a few notes because you went through it so quickly, and the recording is going to be really valuable. I don't fully understand your expectation must be zero. With your breakfast plate, you're expecting that nutrition to give you health. With your talking about health, you're expecting to have good health. So there is that expectation. But I can see what you're trying to say is, do not be upset if you don't fulfill, or maybe I need to use the word goal. If you don't fulfill that goal, don't get upset. And I can sort of, if you'd like to sort of comment more on expectation, and I think I know where you're going to go, is if you achieve that expectation, then adopts an attitude of gratitude for it.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. And I know you were fully engaged the whole time. So so here's a simple, since I like to keep things simple. So how many times have we been hungry? And let's say I'm hungry for Thai food, which is my favorite food, right? So I'm hungry for Thai food. And when I go to a Thai food restaurant, maybe the same one I've gone to many times, I have an expectation like, God, I can't wait to have this food. It's going to be amazing. But what if, so I have this big energy about the expecting that this food I'm going to eat is going to be so good. What if that chef that night had an off night? Or this has happened too. A whole different chef has come in my restaurant and shifted something. So now I'm going with this expectation, something very simple, eating food that I know is going to be a certain way, and it's not. Now I spend the whole dinner, I don't, talking about like, what happened to the chef? Man, it's usually better than this. I can't believe. And now that vibration of that food I'm now eating, it's the same noodles. It's probably the same sauce. Now it's now changing in my body. I'm shifting the frequency of that food because of my expectation. So when I say, hey, let's go try this restaurant, I'm sure it's pretty good, I don't even say that because what if it's not? So I just go, hey, let's go try this restaurant. Okay, let's do it. And we just do it with no expectation. I'm never disappointed, ever. I'm never disappointed. I waited for 5 years for my mom to join my business. My mom waited till I made about $1.5 million before she joined my business, right? If I would have said, gosh, I want my mom, I want you to do this business with me on the first time I asked her, or the second time, or the 10th time I've asked her, can you imagine 5 years going by and me carrying the weight of expecting my mom to join? I released it. I said, okay, she's not interested. And then 5 years later, after she saw a video of me, she calls me and says, I'm ready to join now. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I've completely surrendered and released you. But there are people that expect so much, Kevin, from things. And it's not like I don't want wonderful things to happen, but I'm not going to put any weight or energy in that. You know, I'm going to get 3 people this week. I'm going to get 3 rock stars this week. Well, I might only get, I might get 10, but only 2 of them are what I would deem rock stars. So now I'm disappointed because I needed to get 3. So anyway, it's a weird way to be, but it will free you from any, what I call wasted energy. I like to harness all of my energy to make sure that I have my cup runneth over with nothing but goodness. Okay. So there you go. Great question though.
Yeah, no, thank you. I've got another question, but let somebody else go
Sure.
in.
Yes, and somebody else, you can unmute and share your thoughts, your ideas, your feelings. So nice to see all of you. Hi, Yilan, go ahead.
Okay, hi Mugi, and thank you, Tony. It was an amazing presentation. It really resonates a lot with my own frequency. My question is, we are using the iTerracare device with frequencies. How
Yep.
can we use that device to tune up or tune down the frequency that we have and adjust it to the frequency that we want? You know, is there
Okay.
any magical tool or any
Yes.
magical
Oh my
methods?
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to be huge. And I've never shared this with anybody. So you guys are the first people to hear this. So everybody get really close because you got to see this. All right, hold on a second. I'm gonna put me on speaker view. I'm gonna make my big, okay? Because there's a few things happen. Okay, do you guys see my screen big right now or no?
Yes.
Okay, watch this. Ready? Okay, hold on. Okay, here it is. Yeah, get your cameras ready. So the question was, how do we amplify and shift this frequency of this device and make it better? Here we go. Ready? I got my. Hold on, noodle me more. We do this. We smile. You guys, we put a smile on our face because it's very hard to be negative or have anything weird happening when you're doing this. Nothing but goodness comes from this. So my intention when I use the device is I put a smile on my face and I feel love and I turn the darn thing on and I just start moving it. Okay. That's how you amplify it. Now they're feeling quadruple or infinite amplification of that frequency. Okay. So great question. See that? And by the way, what I just said was so scientific. I mean, that's like beyond science, you guys. So that's
Awesome. Thank you.
thank you.
I
Great
got it.
question. I love it.
Thank you. Kevin, before we get back to you, do we have any other questions?
Yeah, I was just going to follow on from Elan's question.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when you're treating someone, I understand the smile and feel the quantum energy of love for that person. You don't need the wand. If you've got enough quantum energy love, you don't need the wand. But we're going to use the wand there. How do we adjust the quantum energy of the wand, which is at 700 and whatever it is megahertz, when we're treating a person and the liver needs a different frequency to the colon, to that knee joint? How can we can't adjust the frequency of the wand because it hasn't got a rheostat on it. How do we affect the treatment by adjusting that frequency?
Oh God, that's a great question. So Mugi, I got answers because I told this to the BOD. Okay. So after playing with this device for a couple weeks, I saw my wife, who's going through some woman issues, hormonal issues, menopausal issues, in 6 days completely shift after 2 years of dealing with menopausal issues, completely shift and no longer have those issues. So we had an opportunity to fly out to Malaysia. So my wife and I flew to Malaysia and met the BOD. We got to meet everybody. And we were all sitting around the table and I said this to them, and I'm going to say this to you guys. Okay. And I'm saying this because we're all in this frequency now of understanding what's possible with something as simple as a smile. And I said, I looked at Dr. Steven, I looked at Dr. Jimmy, and I said, I don't know about the terahertz. I'm sure there's some science in it. I'm sure there's a frequency that resonates with the cells, just like what we say, that just what's been proven. But in my heart, in my understanding of this device, this could be the greatest placebo product of all time. Because I firmly believe when Mary or when Kevin or Rosemary or Mugi spends 10 minutes with yourself, honoring yourself at the highest and deepest level, drinking the water and turn this device on, whether it's the terahertz, whether it's God, source, light, energy, universe, whatever you believe, something beautiful is happening. And this device will shift and do whatever frequency, whatever vibration, whatever thing needs to happen to help that person get relief. So there's no, we try to overcomplicate things, and you guys understand something. I do everything at a 6th grade reading level, and life is too complicated. I just tell people, drink the water, put a smile on your heart, put a smile on your face, and turn the device on and let your hand and let this device go wherever you feel. Don't think about it. Wherever you feel needs to go. And I can assure you 100% of the time, that person will get relief. And whatever needs to be fixed, whatever frequency needs to be shifted, whatever is going to happen intuitively. And it's being orchestrated on a much bigger frequency than you and I. Okay. So my wish for all of the people in PRIFE is don't overcomplicate this. How long should I want my water for? Don't turn the device on, want it for 30 seconds, whatever you feel. Okay. There are guidelines. Yes. Follow the guidelines. But other than that, just turn the device on with the intention of feeling nothing but love. And this beautiful science that was created many, many generations ago that we have, and you're going to get some type of relief. Okay.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's well answered. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And when I said that to the BOD about this placebo, they all just smiled and nodded their head. They didn't fight me on it, but they know that this, you guys, This device, I call it a gift. That's all I say. Do you like gifts? I'm about to bring a gift into your life and share a gift with you that's going to impact your life in more ways than you can possibly imagine. Okay, that's it. That's my pitch. That's my sales pitch. So, and everybody goes, okay, I love gifts. Here's my credit card.
I mean, and Tony knows what he's talking about, having built one of the fastest growing, fastest producing teams for PRIFE International in the US as well. I just want to add on to what Tony said and share a thought that I had as Tony just said that I mean, there is so much that we don't understand about this world. I mean, as a person with an incredibly strong scientific and materialistic understanding of how the processes of reality work, there's still so much that we don't understand. And one of the things that I learned very early on when I was driving is if you're driving and you lose control of the car, don't look at where the car is headed, look at where you are, where you want to go, and your body will know to steer itself towards where you want to go. If you're staring at the tree that you're trying to avoid, you're going to drive straight into the tree through a process that is beyond your conscious ability to control. Like we as humans think we have control over our body, but we don't. We barely, the consciousness is barely given like 5% of actual control, and so much things is happening beyond our control. And that's what the kind of people that I've seen with the greatest testimonials, with the greatest results from the device, that's what they do. They know where they want to go. They know what health effect they want to see. They allow themselves to use it instinctively and they use it consistently and they get there. So yeah, it is true that our instincts and our thoughts play such a huge role in the effects of the device themselves. And that is something that is true in the most scientific way that I can think of. Uh, so we are running quite a bit over time. I like to start and finish on time, but I'll leave space for one more person. Rosemary, your camera is on. Would you like to share a few words? Yeah, all
Yes,
right, there we go.
happy to share. Yeah, that was a very interesting presentation. Thank you, Tony. I apologize for being late on the call. I really didn't realize what the time was. But yeah, I mean, I follow everything that you say, Tony. I really resonate with what you say and do. And yeah, so it was just a confirmation for me that it works.
Yeah. And I said that at the beginning, didn't I? It's this whole intention is to help maybe validate something for you that you already know, which is true. We know all this. We're brilliant, you guys. We are brilliant creatures. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank
It's a
you.
great
Thank you guys.
reminder. It's a great reminder, Tony.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And by the way, when I'm speaking too, it's like I'm like having aha moments, just like you guys are. Like it's reaffirming and revalidating what I know is the truth of it all, right? And when you guys acknowledging it and say, yes, this is a reminder, it feels familiar, it sounds familiar, that this telling you that you know what you're doing, you're in it. We just got to do this more. We just got to smile more and just be very intentional. And let's, like Mugi said, let's pull these weeds, you guys. You have a lot of weeds in your garden right now. And when you start pulling that and get to see that new soil underneath there and that new energy and the new space that's created, oh my gosh, you guys, now we can amplify. Now we can really, truly grow. Okay.
Yeah, now we can really truly grow. When I scheduled Tony to speak in PRIFE 101, I didn't know what I expected, but I feel that I personally, as a human being who's living through my own messy, complicated life, I heard so many things that I needed to hear. And mean, these are things that we can always say, oh, I know this instinctively, but it's not about the knowing, it's about the realizing something you already know, shining a spotlight into something that you already have in your head. So thank you so much for that. This call helped me as a human being in my personal development and in my planning for 2024. And that is possibly the biggest compliment I can give you. Thank
Thank
you. I
you.
really appreciate it.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity, you guys. You guys are all amazing.
Okay. Hang on. Harish Kumar Dev, and to anyone else who wants the link, but you do not but you don't know where to get it. I've shared my phone number. You guys can WhatsApp me. Please WhatsApp me and I will send you the recording links. And thank you again, Tony Lucero, Chief Training Officer of PRIFE North America. Thank you for joining us here in PRIFE 101. This call is recorded and will be shared. Next week, we have Dato Soma doing his part 2 of iTerracare questions and answers. So if you have any health-related questions based on the iTerracare and you want to hear from our product advisor, tune in next week. And in the meantime, have a great December, have a great rest of the week, and have a great time planning for a very successful year next year. I hope to see all of you in Bangkok, and all of you, me included, will finally get to meet Tony face to face. All right.
Yay!
Goodbye, everybody. Have a
Hang
great
on,
Great day.
Mookie.
Yes.
Hang on, I just
Kevin.
want to save the chat. Just hang on. 5,
All right,
4,
all right.
3, 2, 1. Okay, got it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. See you
Thank
all
you.
next
Thank
week.
you. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.